Good morning. It's Thursday. Today I was going to go over a little bit just the exploration into guilt. It's very easy for us parents to do because we're trying to figure out what happened. What caused this? Was it in the food? Is it in something in the water? I mean, you look to everywhere. And it's best sometimes if there's no medical answer. And of course, seek them. I put, by the way, to interrupt myself, I put links out on one of my blog posts on my Dancing in the Light blog. It's under Cancer Walking in the Light. And I will keep adding links to that. Cancer.net. I believe it is Cancer.net has an iOS app. Let me go into this too. One thing you do want to remember as you go through this experience: questions, thoughts, write them down. If you are techie, geeky like me and you always have your devices, get an app. That app for Cancer.net is amazing. It's got explanations of hundreds of different types of cancer. It also has an area, it says to enter questions and answers, things to ask your doctor. Just an amazing tool that they did specifically for this purpose. So please, that is one of the more important things if I can get across. You'll get into a doctor, and some of these specialists are hard to meet with. They may give you a cancer nurse, their cell phone number or their number to reach them 24/7 if you have questions or concerns. But to see the doctor, have everything prepared and ready. What my son and all of us did last time was to keep a 3-ring binder and kept copies of everything, every test, every prescription described. And you'll want to keep that as well, whether in an app or on paper. If you have to go to a local hospital for some type of an emergency, you know, and the records aren't in their database because of HIPAA laws, sometimes sharing them across is a... But anyways, that's my tip for you. And to go back into guilt, it's not a good place to be in. So give yourself a little bit of a guilt parent, friend, loved one pity party, and you can ask why all you want, and you can say, why did it happen to them? And as parents, we can really beat ourselves up. We can say, and I have, why me? Or why him, rather, I'm sorry, and I'd rather it be me. This is one thing I'm going through this time a lot. He's older now. This is his second time around. He's 23 years old. And I think, look at the stupid things I've done in my life. I love my life. I've had a wonderful life. I have 3 wonderful children and lovely pets and a loving family and parents. But he's young, and I'll talk to God or Source or whatever your power is, if any. And I'll ask, why? Can you trade me? I'll take his place. I'll go through it. Or you can just take me if you promise you'll leave him alive. And it's very, it puts you in a dark place. So you don't want to stay there because the reality is that isn't the reality. And you cannot swap. There's no magic. I'm not, you know, bewitched or I dream a genie. And I can't just magically switch these spots. I can wish it, hope it, but it's not going to happen that way. I can pray for miracles, and hopefully if this is the normal lymphoma he had last time with no other complications that I don't know about, there's a pretty good success rate, like in the 90s for 5 years. So that's very, very good. I know it's hard for people who are cancer victims to think of a good type of cancer to have. It sounds very, very... But you start thinking that way. So seek some help. Another good thing I like to do is, boy, sometimes in the mornings my mind's just racing, and I'll crank on an inspirational song, even maybe a modern rock song, and just start jamming it full blast, and something that really resonates, that's positive. We don't want anything that's dark and makes you even worse. There's a lot of good music out there. I was listening to, and not to pitch them, but Shinedown, Unity. Wonderful song, you know. Put your hands in the air if you hear me out there. I've been looking for you day and night, and I'm not scared anymore. And it just really gives you a positive message. India, Airy, I am light. If you want to go into a calm, happy spot, turn that song on at home, close your eyes, and just try to think of beauty in the world, and it will immediately shift your attitude. You need to be kind of an actor. You have to be hopeful and optimistic for them, and put on a little bit of a, don't go into the dark places in front of them. They don't need that. They're already there and they live there. Lift them up and bring them up, because there's such a great miracle of life that we don't know a lot of the explanations for, and miracles happen every day. There's just so many stories of hope where, and sometimes where medical people will say it's kind of a hopeless situation. And I had a friend who had stage 4 lung cancer and was given months, and years and years he was given instead because of a miracle. So prayers and miracles, and just try to be in some kind of a happy spot. It helped me to research a lot, to find out statistics from valuable sources. Do not go off into crazy Google madness, oh my gosh thing. Get the data from your doctors. If you know specifically the types, you know, cancer.org or cancer ACS. Leukemia, if they have leukemia, lymphoma.org, I believe, is if they have lymphoma, breast cancer. Just research about it from reputable sources. They're not out there to scare you to death. They're going to tell you statistics and what you can do to make it better. Maybe even try to help them work with their diet, eat healthier. If they're smokers, you definitely don't want to keep smoking. And yoga, I would think, would be a good one, and meditation to help them get a peace of mind. And also demand that your child or loved one gets a therapist while they're going through it, a cancer therapist. So they can tell them more of the specifics sometimes. The doctors don't want to say some things, and you just want to find out, you know, what's going on and what should I do? What's the best treatment? How can I make my life, the quality of my life, better? So if you have any questions, please leave comments on there. These are kind of sketchy in the morning kind of thing. It was a random journal idea I decided to do for myself, and then I thought maybe it'll help other people, and maybe it'll grow into a book with my son and give him a little bit of something else to fixate on, because he's in shutdown mode now and I can't reach him. He's fine, because I saw he's spending time with his dog on Facebook, and he's a young boy. You know, he wasn't used to me speaking to him every day, and I have to walk a fine line with that too, because if I'm calling every day, am I telling him that I'm worried about him not being there one day, and I don't want him to think about that. I want him to think that he's always going to be there. So maybe I'll do it randomly as a text to not be so intrusive. And that's it. I think of a happy thought today. I know it doesn't seem like a happy time, but like I've always say, you can always live in misery or you can live in bliss, and it's all up to you and your mindset. So blessings to you, and have a wonderful day.